Hello and welcome to Shaman Sister Sessions, episode 31, the Summer Solstice Ceremony Celebration. I'm Michelle Hawk and I'm here with my shaman sister, Katherine Bird. Together we are the Shaman Sisters. It is our joy to offer this podcast to you. We've known each other for a few years now and always had amazing conversations about spirituality, shamanism, what it means to be a healer and empath and do this work in the world. And about 6 months ago, just over 6 months ago, we decided to make these conversations available to you, fellow seekers on the path. Thank you so much for joining us. It is our pleasure to offer this work to you. And today we are dropping into summer solstice ceremony. How are you doing, Kat?
Thank you, Michelle. So good. I love, I can always hear like the tone of your voice whenever you're like dropping even deeper, I know, into yourself and into your space. You have this beautiful shift in the tone of your voice. So it's lovely to hear.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah. And I'm really excited because Michelle is going to be arriving here in the morning for a visit for a week, and we're going to be doing an event together on Thursday night and sitting in ceremony this weekend and leading a galactic activation to open people's channels to galactic energies on Sunday. And so we've got a like jam-packed high intensity week for the two of us. So
Absolutely.
This is a good.
And I am so excited. I am so excited. And also for those of you joining us next week, Kat and I will be together physically in person for our episode. So that'll be extra fun.
That's going to be extra fun.
Mm-hmm.
And, just to be in this space, it's just been your birthday, and in the space of the solstice, and just how beautiful everything is right now. So warm out, and all of my plants and everything out there, the little birds and the bees, and it's just so lush and bright, and it's beautiful. And so I'm just really been sitting with that today and feeling into all of the life that's around me here on this beautiful property.
Wonderful. Yeah. I've had a day today, and viewers, as we're tuning in, I invite you also to do a little check-in with where are you at today? What themes are coming up for you for this solstice? And even just regardless of the solstice, what's going on for you right now? And as I was preparing, Kat, I think I sent you a text saying, whoa, the energies are big that are moving through. And I'll tell you a little bit about what that was feeling like for me. I was feeling this, my sacral chakra and my throat chakra really need some support. So that'll be part of my intention for our ceremony here today, but then also for the next week that I'll be spending with you and doing various events and ceremony with you. And noticing the connection in these two energy centers, the second and the fifth chakra, are very deeply tied, and noticing that my generative power really seems to be either depleted or shut down or something. And now is the perfect time for me to reactivate that. Now at the solstice, the biggest illuminated container that we could possibly hope for here in the Northern Hemisphere, that's what I'll be intending. So as I was showering, I was singing, I was trying to do a little opening up in my throat chakra. I was feeling into my sacral chakra and really feeling, my body twitching a little bit, and there's stuff going on. So we'll see what happens in ceremony. But that's where I'm at right now.
I love that, Michelle. And for exactly as we're sort of having these check-ins, just checking in with yourself. What is coming up for me right now? What is it that I would like to receive some illumination on? Our event on Thursday is called Illumination because we're feeling into what is left to have the light shone upon it. What is it in our lives that we need to have have illumination toward, and utilizing the sun energy, this beautiful time of year, and this lingering light to bring more light to certain aspects of our lives. And what I've been sitting with is, I've recently had, this last weekend, had a very intense exorcism on my being, with a hitchhiker being that I had drawn towards me. They'd been living in my lineage and with my family for a long time, and so I've had this experience of actually doing a lot of clearing work and a lot of sort of pulling things out that have been with me for a very long time, having memories and seeing visions of things from my lineage throughout my family. And as I've done that and had these experiences, I've had this rawness, sort of vulnerable, open, sort of like, oh, I'm really feeling like there's all of this energy that's moving out of me, and I'm super open to being all of this energy moving out. And so I'm in the awareness of illumination toward some of my more like core essence of who I am, without all of these extraneous energies that I've been holding on to, that I've been sort of cultivating and having these relationships with these energies throughout my life, of ways of being in relationship, and ways of communicating, and ways of living my life. And I feel like I've been kind of pulling a lot of stuff apart and pulling things away. And now at this point, I get to shine the light on more authentic, grounded truth, and calling in a lot of grounding for myself, and support, and allowing myself to step into something that's completely new, and it feels a little bit scary and vulnerable, because it feels like it's without all of the protection that I've been holding on to before. That the protection that I've held on to has been a negative impact on my life, but it was called in for protection. And now I get to live more authentically, more open, more vulnerable. And what is that? What is that for me? What do I really want to share with people from the depths of my soul, allowing them to really see me? And so there's a little bit of like, oh, okay, am I okay? Okay, what do I need to be able to do that? What do I need in terms of, like you're saying, working with the sacral and working with the throat? And I think really that is probably where I'm at too, is that authentic expression in its relationship to being fully embodied and grounded into the earth, and that safety feeling of it's okay to be me, and it's okay to be this experience right now.
Beautiful. Kat, you gave us the perfect segue into a little bit of a meditation journaling exercise.
Please.
Yeah. So viewers, as you're tuning in, we're going to spend a few minutes here giving you an opportunity to drop into meditative space. Again, you can have your journal with you if you like. Feel free to make some notes and record. Maybe you already have an intention in mind for the ceremony today. If so, that's great. But I encourage you also to consider some of these questions. So let's go ahead and drop in with our breath first. The theme of the day is expansion. So as we feel our lungs expanding our rib cages out, breathing all the way into our bellies, feeling our bellies expand out, holding that fullness, and then release. With our breath, we mirror the cycles of expansion and contraction around us. Continue to drop in, and as you breathe in, really feeling that expansion, feeling what spaces are created in expansion. How do we spread apart our ribs, stretching the intercostal muscles with our breath, and then allowing them to contract on our exhale. Take a moment now as you continue your breath to feel into what areas in your life are you expanding right now? In the Northern Hemisphere, we talked in the last 2 episodes about cycles of power. We are in alignment with cycles of expansion right now, with the solar cycle of expansion. So notice what areas in your life, where and how are you already expanding? You can ask yourself also, am I in alignment with the cycles of expansion that are going on right now? And if not, we'll return to that in a moment. Let's take a brief second to think about, where were you 6 months ago for the winter solstice? That ultimate point of contraction, going inward. What seeds did you consciously or unconsciously plant at that time that have already come into manifestation through this cycle of expansion that we're experiencing now? Continuing to flow with your breath. The cycles of expansion and contraction mirrored in your body. Ask yourself now, what blockages do I have to expansion? Where in me are there any places that are holding on to this contractive state? Where do I need there to be greater illumination, greater expansion? Where can I send my breath in my physical and energetic bodies to create space, to release these blockages? Expansion requires a lot of energy. It requires a lot of resources and generative power. Ask yourself now, what do I need? What do I require in order to expand to my fullest extent? What support do I need to call in order to be in harmonious alignment with sustainable expansion? With all of these things in mind now, let's allow that to percolate into the core of our intention. What is the core of your intention for this practice today? Where would you like to call in expansion and illumination into your life? What needs to be released in order for you to do that? And what support do you need to receive? It is with so much gratitude that we call upon the universe and spirit guides, animal guides, archangels and ascended masters, beings of the light and love, ancestors, and all our relations, to please be present here today for this highest of healings, this solstice ceremony for the highest and greatest good. Let our intentions be heard and answered. We know that we are supported. We know that we are guided. We know that we are loved. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the blessings.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. As we call upon the beings of the light and love, asking for assistance in this time, as we call in illumination, 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 to illuminate within us our own divine light, to illuminate into the shadow aspects of ourselves so that we may know ourselves more fully, to illuminate our minds to the truth and our hearts, the universal love frequency, to the depths of our compassion and our grace towards our fellow man. As we ask for illumination to rain down upon this planet and upon the people, that we may come in right relation with our mother and with each other. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your illuminating rays of light and love.
Thank you. Whatever burdens you may have, dear ones, let us take them from you now. There are many of you working. Please recognize that you are not alone along this path. There are many of you calling in for this greatness of expansion, this illumination, as you call, the channeling in the light of your sun, the light of the stars, to shine the light upon your shadow, not so that it may vanish, but so that you may love it more deeply and understand and integrate it back into its rightful place as part of your beloved soul. Whatever burdens you may have taken on in this lifetime or in other lifetimes, let us remove them for you now. This is a sacred time. This is the time when you are doing the work that you have been preparing for eons. All of your history, recorded and beyond on this planet, you have been preparing for this work, and you will continue to do this work for the next 1,000 years and more. It is not a part of your path at this time to continue to carry these burdens. Many of you are discovering in your soul contracts that you are being relieved of past histories, wounding, the lineages, these archetypal damages that have been done to your family and your energetic histories. We invite you to continue to surrender these burdens, continue to slough off these old beliefs, these old energies that do not serve you, beloved ones. You know this is true. You are continuing to do the work. You have released so much, and yet there is so much more. For now is the time in human history when all of the woundings are bubbling to the surface. It is with so much joy that we receive these for you, that we accept these burdens, and we transmute them back into light and love of the highest vibration. Let us carry them away for you. You are doing such beautiful work here. The ripple effects of your contracts here on this planet are felt throughout the galaxy and beyond. We promise you, beloved ones, that we feel you deeply. We honor you deeply. We see you. We see Earth. We see humanity. And we are pleased. We are loving. It is also inspiring to watch the choices that you are making as a planet. We know that given current state of the world, that might not be the most unsurprising thing to hear. However, we are pleased with the choices that you are making. Overall, the trajectory of your planet is moving in the direction of love. Do you believe that right now? Ask yourself, truly, do you believe that the trajectory of the planet is moving in the direction of love? We know that you feel our support. We send our love to Earth just as we send our love to all planets, all nations, all galaxies. You are a part of the empire of love. A member of this galactic nation. You are known. Earth is known. You have a seat at the table. Please do not ever feel as though you are on your own. When you are ready, you will see. You will see the high honor in which we hold you, and you will see the seat that you hold at the table of this galactic nation. In the meantime, beloved ones, please continue to surrender your burdens. There's a process of alchemy which is currently a little bit beyond your human understanding at this moment in time, although you are continuing to grow into it every day. This process of alchemy is ultimately what will allow you to do your own recycling. However, it will be a little while before you are completely ready to do that. So in the meantime, please continue to surrender your burden. We will take it from you. Continue to be inspired. Continue to fall in love every day with the world around you. Continue to grow and learn and change and laugh and make mistakes. Continue to fall and get back up. Continue to hold each other. Continue to cry. Continue to celebrate. It is all a part of the path, and you are doing it so beautifully. Thank you, beloved ones.
Thank you, thank you. Neyosoam neato Neano so kriyawan Neasodo kriyawan Nareo noreao Neanari kriyawan Neanawe kriyawan Gloria se crioe Doea se crioe Nare cria nawea Nare cria nawea Norea We're being asked to pull, to lift off of the head, off of the third eye, to open the channel, off of the top, off of the neck, through and down the arms, just wiping down your arms and pulling, shedding like skin, anything off of your system, out of your field and off of your body. It is not serving the illumination, and being reminded that the illumination that comes from without, that is from our central sun, the stars, the sun, the beings of light, it is the illumination that lives within, reflecting upon each other again and again and again. Being asked to clear away, to let go of anything that does not allow you to feel your own internal illumination, to allow the light to shine for the others to see. For in shining your light, you bring illumination to those that witness your path and your progress. This is often one of the more challenging aspects of being, of awakening, of owning the light, is shining it so that others can see it. There is often such fear of what will happen if the light is seen, is experienced by others in your community, in your family, in your friends. What will happen? What will they say? How will they judge? How will they be? But the amount of energy it takes to hold in the light, to cloak the light in your own doubt and fear is enormous. It is energy that can be used and utilized for further expression of your internal illumination. An illumination that is calling to be witnessed, or its simple presence in the field will call upon illumination within others. Even if it doesn't look like it all of the time, even if it is uncomfortable, it is still sparking humanity. And while at times you may feel that you need to be a roaring fire, burning through huge expanses, sometimes being a simple spark is exactly enough, perfect, complete. It is divine contribution, part of your soul's gift and plan. So what would happen if you stopped judging the illumination within you for where it is at? It should be at this place. It should be at that. And instead, simply stoked your own fire. Allowed it to bubble up within you. And released. and let go of those doubts and fears, which are what keep it cloaked, what keep it hidden. You have within you the spark of the universe, waiting to be felt by the other beings on this planet, waiting for the simplest illumination, often much more simple than we tend to think that it should be. And pulling again off the top of the head, throat, front, and back, using your fingertips to peel away anything hiding the truth of your being.
With these messages and these movements of energy, allow yourself to again return to your breath and breathe into whatever areas you identified are ready to receive some expansion. The theme of the messages here today is around releasing any blockages that we have to our expansion, any burdens, anything that we are still carrying. Now's the time to expand into that place, knowing that we're not expanding the blockage when we do so, but you're expanding, creating spaciousness around it, bringing in the light, shining the light on the shadow, not to make it disappear, but to illuminate it and fall in love with it. Release whatever you don't need to and integrate the lessons from that. Continuing to breathe into these areas. Understanding that this work that we are doing here for ourselves is service. We are supported in our healing. And it is not only for ourselves, but for all beings that we work in service to our highest and greatest good, and the highest and greatest good of all.
Keep finding the breath moving through the body, finding the places where a little more attention is needed, and allowing any inspiration of movement that's happening in your body, any shaking or movement in the spine, breathing, sound that you want to make. No one can hear you, so feel free to add a down to the releasing and letting go. Shaking it out. Shoo, 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 shoo. Moving the body, finding circular motions, stretches into places that maybe you're not stretching into, in your spine, especially in the back of the neck, the shoulders. Releasing other people's thoughts and judgments from your field, allowing those to gently lift away from your body as we call upon our most authentic expression of self. Michelle, I feel called to ask you if there's an animal energy that is supporting us right now that maybe we could speak to.
Yeah. I had to ask for clarification because I work with hawk and eagle all the time. So I was wondering, oh, are they showing up for me? But no, they're showing up for everybody.
I had two hawks yesterday that were calling and circling over my head for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
Calling and calling and calling.
Yes. Hawk and eagle, both showing up in expansion. I am being called to share a story of my summer solstice 2 years ago. And viewers, as I share this story, please continue to stay with your breath. I was visiting a medicine sister of mine who was caretaking very beautiful land, very sacred land on the Oregon coast. On the summer solstice, I took my drum, and this was after the previous day, really feeling very deeply connected to the land, deeply connected to the spirits and the guardians of the land. I took my drum and I walked out into a field next to the house, and I started to play the drum. And as soon as I started to play, I saw an eagle start circling overhead. And it was like it was being called into the drum beat. And then I started to sing. And as soon as I started to sing, 5 more eagles started circling overhead. And these were juvenile bald eagles. I had 6 juvenile bald eagles circling overhead while I was drumming and singing in the field. And they started kind of at one end of the field and slowly made their way over to the other end. And I was just in awe, absolutely floored by the power of this message, the power of this expansion and this witnessing that was lent to my playing and singing. Eagle is, I'm asking it if it wants to share in its own words. Eagle speaks the truth. Eagle is a truth carrier and a wisdom carrier. I saw juvenile bald eagles that day because at that time My singing in prayer was a relatively new offering in terms of my public service. This was 2 years ago. But for all beings at this time of solstice, Eagle is one who witnesses us and supports us in our expansion. Eagle is a north holder. And as the sun in the northern hemisphere moves more and more into the north, it moves into the realm of Eagle. Eagle can hold the sun, carry the sun, and reflect its rays with its powerful wings back down to us on Earth. Eagle is assuring us that it is supporting our endeavors here at this time of expansion. Hawk is offering its guidance in a slightly more piercing way. Red-tailed hawk reflects the light and holds the light of the sun in its tail feathers. It works in particular with root and sacral chakra energy, channeling the light of the sun down through our channels to activate the first and second chakras in particular. Hawk is stepping forward in particular to support all of us in our speaking of the truth. Eagle is a carrier of the truth and a carrier of wisdom, and Hawk is who is flying into our throats right now to help awaken and pierce this energy center, to open it and let the truth spill forward. It feels also as though there's I keep hearing the word piercing, and what is called to mind is the piercing that happens in Sundance ceremony, where there is, piercings made in the flesh to open portals for things to leave the body, leave the energy body, and also spirit to flow in and do deep, deep healing. And Hawk is sharing its medicine today as a supporter of piercing. So Hawk is saying, call me into those areas that you would like to be pierced, so that something may leave you and spirit can flow in to heal that wound. Oof. These are the two allies in particular who are making their presence known, although quite frankly, I see a whole lot of animals, a whole spectrum of animals showing up. So really, that might be everybody's guides who are tuning in. But these two winged ones in particular are in a cycle of power right now at this time.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Hawk. Thank you, Eagle.
Thank you.
We're so honored. And in the perfect medicine of the truth and the expression of the truth, and the concept of expansion. And as we expand, as we illuminate, we cannot help but move further and further into alignment with our truth and with the expression of our truth out into the world. So these are very important allies for this process that we're going through.
Yes. It feels as though throat is a theme for us two in particular, but I know, based on what I've been working on with my clients and hearing from other people, is this throat activation and throat expansion is a huge theme right now. So I think I'd like to end our ceremony. We're not done yet, but I think the thing that we're going to be kind of setting us up on to carry away from here is a throat opening and truth and wisdom activation for this energy center. How's that sound?
That sounds like a great idea.
Great. Yeah, viewers, how's that sound? Good. So let's go ahead and again, drop in with a breath. Specifically focusing this attention on the throat center. And this is where Hawk is coming in now. If you choose to invite in Hawk into your throat center, Hawk with the turquoise talons to grasp the truth and carry it. If you choose to invite in Hawk to pierce your throat and create an opening, create a portal, you may express your intention now for that to be so. Beloved ally, Hawk, we call upon you for this clearing, this opening, this piercing activation. My brother, my namesake, thank you for your service. Thank you for your transportation. Thank you for the awakening. For all of those who have agreed and issued an invitation for this work to take place, please let them receive now this piercing, this opening, this activation. Please let us receive this healing today. Make your presence known in our lives. We allow this work to take place so that the truth may pour from us like a wellspring. We allow this work to take place so that healing may pour forward from our lips and throats like a stream of love that bubbles up from our hearts. We allow this work to take place and welcome it in as part of the necessary healing for ourselves and for all beings, so that the wisdom may spring forth with power and conviction. Our most authentic selves deserve to have their voices heard and resonate throughout the world. The truth of our hearts deserves to be known. Our power and our presence and our love are called to resound in vibrant echoes issuing forth from these powerful energy centers that have been silenced for too long. With this affirmation and this calling, Hawk, we invite you in to pierce our throats. Create this portal space, create this opening for healing to take place. Hey, 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 ow. I invite you now, if you feel called, to sing the highest expression of your expansive truth and heart song. Continue to breathe into your awakened and opened throat chakra. And allow the truth to flow from your lips like the wellspring into a thirsty world.
Allowing yourself to feel any resonance, frequency, vibration is opened through this piercing and singing through the front of your field, your throat, and pulling it back behind your body as well. Full expression through the entirety of the field around your throat. Resonating with the truth of your being all the way down into the core. And committing to resonating and expressing core truth. And what will that look like for you today and in the days to come? What is it that is desiring to be expressed from your own internal illumination? What song is seeking to be sung from your soul?
I had to mute my microphone there so I didn't blow out the speakers.
I know we can't get very loud on the. No. We can't get very loud on here.
No. So you all couldn't hear me, but I had a fun little clearing and activation with some interesting sounds pouring through. Let's intend for this healing work that we did together today to continue to flow as long as it is needed. Pouring in from the divine to ground in the physical plane. With peace of heart and peace of mind, we seal in this healing energy today, intending for it to integrate gently for the highest and greatest good as we come into perfect union of self and spirit on this path. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the blessings. We are so happy and grateful to do this work today.
Thank you to all of the beings, angels and archangels, ascended masters, guides, beings of the love and light, our higher selves, and all those that support our journeys. To our animal spirit guides, to the galactic beings, all those that seek to assist in the illumination of humanity. We are so grateful for your time and for your wisdoms. Thank you for assisting today in this work. And we ask that it reach out throughout space and time for the betterment of all beings. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And as we close and release you,
Let's bring our attention back to our bodies, back to our conscious awareness. Thanking our guides and teachers for their presence here in this work today. And offering yourself gratitude as well for choosing to participate in this practice. Offering yourself the time and energy and love to continue the unfolding together with your fellow seekers. It is such a joy to have you join us today for this special solstice episode. Thank you.
And we hope that you have received some illumination for yourself, some shedding, and perhaps some wisdoms that are coming from within you. We encourage you to sit for a couple of minutes and maybe just allow yourself to be quiet, do some journaling, and we would love to hear from you. Anything that you gleaned from today or received, we would love to hear about it via our Facebook page, Shaman Sister Sessions. You can also reach us at shamansistersessions@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you if you have any suggestions for episodes, topics that you would like us to discuss. And again, Michelle is going to be here in San Diego area this next week for 1 week's time. So you have access to both of us together in one place. So if you're interested in working with both of us at the same time, this would be an incredible opportunity to actually get to do that in person and to come and do ceremonial work with us this Thursday on beautiful sacred land. And also, if you're interested, Michelle will be here. If you're interested in an animal communication session for one of your creatures, or any other kind of healing, channeling work that she might have a little bit of time for.
Yeah, seriously, we have maybe like a couple of openings. We've
very
got
little time while she's here.
Mhm.
But if that's something that's interesting to you, please reach out as soon as possible because we won't have very much time available while she's here. And anything else, Michelle, that I'm not remembering? Next week at the same time at noon Pacific on Tuesday, we will be together in the same place for our episode. And you can also check us out on YouTube. All of our prior episodes are on there under Shaman Sister Sessions. thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. Happy solstice.
Happy solstice. I'll see you soon, Michelle.
Yay. Bye.